have to show a negative COVID test or proof that you fully recovered from COVID. That's her idea. Because the holidays are coming and they're panicking.
Okay. But don't you think this is going to lead to a really bad place? I'm serious.
What, a civil war between the vaccinated and the unvaccinated?
You don't need that many crazy guys, and they do have a lot of weapons, to say this is it. This is what we've been talking about all these years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you haven't seen that yet. You mean the crazy militia bunker type?
That attitude that the government is not going to deny me
a way to refuse?
A way to make a living. I can't go to a restaurant. I can't go to a store.
Engage in commerce.
I can't go on a plane. I mean, how many of these, I know they're not rights, technically, but it's what people assume are their everyday rights, right?
Their freedom.
Their freedom, yeah. Now, how many of them do you take away before you get the guys who say, okay, enough, this has now become some oppressive communist dictatorship, and we're going to have to do what we have to do? It's gonna happen. These are tens of millions of people, and you're telling them they can't work, and they basically can't participate in public life anymore.
The problem, too, is that, I mentioned this yesterday, the COVID Delta variant is subsiding. But this crowd is always worried about the next wave. They're always going to be worried about the next wave.
Well,
but it'll happen again if we let our guard down. Here come the holidays.
It's a standard.
Here comes the fall. People are inside more.
They'll always have an excuse.
Here comes the regular influenza.
Yeah.
Remember the twindemic?
Yeah, they're always going to have a reason because they want absolute control over your body. This is not going to end well. The fist fights you're seeing on the planes and in the restaurants, this is just the beginning. They got to lighten up here. People got to relax.
Most people can try, in most polls, so overwhelmingly people favor the mandate.
I know, because
you're saying the 20% that wants to fight could cause a lot of ruckus.
20% is tens of millions of people.
I know, but they're not all going to fight physically.
The majority doesn't matter if the minority loses its mind. You only need one guy in a movie theater, right, to cause a tragedy. You only need one guy. And here we're embittering tens of millions and taking away their right to exist in a free country? That's a really bad idea. But, go ahead. See what happens. Try this experiment. I'm sure it'll end well.
There's also, for those of you on the other end of this who want your booster shot, apparently have at it, because even though they want to limit it to people who are 65 and older or have the underlying health conditions, it looks like the CDC is saying it's self-attestation, meaning they're not asking any questions. And I've seen tons of stories that people are going into pharmacies and getting the booster shot without any real proof of anything.
Yeah, because I think you should. I'm going to go get the booster when my 6 months are up.
Yeah, what? I read a good story today, though, that says don't hurry, because the closer the shots are together, it's not going to do you much good. So, you have to run right in there.
Yeah, I know. But eventually you're going to have to take a booster if you want to keep your antibody levels up. Yeah. Because I don't trust this. That's another thing. I don't trust as much as a lot of people. I got the vaccine, but I don't trust the government's information on the vaccine any more than anti-vax people do, because they're going back and forth like week to week. Well, you should get the booster, not get the booster, get the booster, not get the booster. And I know part of this is because Biden's administration and popularity is falling apart, so they're going to grasp at some big shiny pronouncement to show that he's on the case, right?
Yes, he's right. That's right.
And try to cover up that he should be in a nursing home. And then I know there's people saying, well, you really shouldn't get a third one because there's so many people in poor countries who haven't gotten their first. They say, I don't care. Sorry. If something bad happens to me, it happens to me. It doesn't happen to somebody else on the other side of the world. And I know all that political nonsense and social justice warrior nonsense is playing into these announcements, which means I don't trust it, which means I'll go get a booster when I feel like it. And I'm no longer listening to Biden or Fauci or that Rochelle Walensky, because they've all been discredited one way or the other.
All right, coming up after 5 o'clock, it is a chapter, we believe, in the homeless industrial complex. They broke ground yesterday in downtown Los Angeles near Skid Row. for a brand new high-rise for the homeless. A luxury high-rise costing $160 million. It's hard to believe, and this is what we've warned about. We'll talk about it coming up after 5.
Johnny Ken Kfi, Deborah Mark has news.
The number of homicide cases in LA County is up 50% from this time last year. The LA City Council has delayed voting on an ordinance to require people to show proof of full COVID-19 vaccination to visit many indoor places. United Airlines has a plan to fire almost 600 workers for failing to get a COVID-19 vaccine on time or at all. We're going to go to the 10, and we will check in with the KFI in the Sky next.
All right, I'll give you $1,300 off LASIK now. Listen to me. A phone number coming. Pay attention. This is for KFI listeners from Dr. Charles Manger at Saddleback Eye Center. You are a KFI listener, right? I'll give you a certificate, $1,300 off LASIK. I can give away 10 of these certificates to the first 10 KFI listeners who call now, schedule a free LASIK exam. This is for you if you're farsighted, nearsighted, you have astigmatism, or you need reading glasses. Your eyesight stinks. No good. Well, Dr. Manger can help you. I went to him years ago, and I'm seeing 20/20. Maybe other eye doctors said LASIK wouldn't work. They're probably wrong, because I went to 3 eye doctors who said it wouldn't work. They were all wrong. So only go to Dr. Manger. I can give out 10 $1,300 LASIK discount certificates now. So be one of the first 10 callers, and you'll get $1,300 off LASIK. Call 866-559-4444, 866-559-4444, 866-559-4444.
Staples Connect helps your business grow with custom printed sales and marketing materials. Get 20% off signs, banners, or posters when you spend $75 or more. Explore what's new at your local Staples. Offer ends 10/2. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/signage for details. Staples Connect.
Southland weather from KFI. Sunny tomorrow, highs 80s to low 90s. This report brought to you by Staples. We have a crash on the 10 in West Covina.
Westbound, just after Grand Avenue. This crash has been cleared to the right shoulder, but traffic is jammed from Via Verde. KFI in the Sky, sponsored by injury attorney superwomansuperlawyer.com. Big problems continuing in Norwalk this afternoon. Tell us all about it, Mike O'Brien.
Yeah, Dave, certainly this afternoon it has been the spot to avoid. 105 eastbound, approaching to 605. That's a fatal motorcycle accident there. The coroner has just gotten here a few minutes back, so it shouldn't be too much longer, but the main line is completely shut down. It's only the carpool lane that gets by. So just one lane for all these folks, and it is bumper to bumper well through the 110. Now, the only thing it's done that's positive, it's cleaned up the North 605, which is usually jammed for the 105 up through Whittier, is almost wide open right now. Now, the South 605, that's a different story. That's going to load up there at Tech Road, and that'll be tough down through the 5. And we still have that problem in Long Beach, 405 northbound at just about Studebaker. We're talking about the carpool in the left lane still being blocked. That's putting extra of pressure on that drive all the way back into Orange County. Looks like back towards Bristol. Injured in an accident? Visit superwomansuperlawyer.com. Mike O'Brien, KFI in the Sky. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Dave Joseph.
This report is sponsored by Catalina Island Company. In need of a vacation? Your Catalina Island experience awaits. And now for a limited time, stay 3 nights for the price of 2 at any Catalina Island Company property. Book your next vacation at visitcatalinaisland.com. That's visitcatalinaisland.com.
Termites love Southern California, and there are 2 kinds of termite seasons here. One, well, it's here all year long, and 2, it's really termite season, and that's what's going on right now. If you see those little bugs flying around or what looks like small pieces of sawdust on the floor, termites. And I'm going to suggest you call Pacific Coast Termite for a free home inspection. Now, certain restrictions apply. When you use Pacific Coast Termite, no tenting, no double bagging your food, no pet sitting. I've tented before. It is a nightmare. You do not want to go there. You can actually be home while Pacific Coast Termite does its work. Try doing that with a tent over your house. Mention KFI, get 10% off termite treatments, 2-year guarantee on their work. Call 800-PACIFIC, 800-PACIFIC. Visit PacificCoastTermite.com.
Pacific Coast Termite, Juice Termite.
The clean, friendly way.
Ready to trade in your old car? Then download the Roto app. That's R-O-D-O. Roto will buy your car and give you the cash you need to buy your next car today. You don't even need to leave your house.
It's all done online. Roto will even deliver your new car and take your old car away free of charge. So what are you waiting for? Download the Roto app now or check out roto.com. That's R-O-T-O, the fastest and easiest way to sell your car.
You've got dreams. Maybe you want to refinance so you can start those home improvements you've been putting off. Take that long-awaited vacation, or pay off high-interest debt like credit cards, student loans, or personal loans. Take advantage. Your home equity has never been higher. I'm Lisa Alley of Summit Lending. We are a business dedicated to complete transparency and committed to obtaining loan packages that provide the lowest rates on the market. Summit Lending is family-owned and operated, and our service level is unparalleled. Check us out online. Our reviews speak for themselves. We have our own credit line with our own bank and can compete with anyone. Every KFI customer has direct access to the president of the company. That's me, Lisa. And remember, we love our veterans. For a rate quote within the hour, call Summit Lending at 800-640-1350. That's 800-640-1350, or email me personally at gowithsummit.com. Once again, that's 800-640-1350.
MNLS number 339255. DRE license number 018644758.
So you love those Solar Max panels,
I
right?
write Valentine's Day cards to my solar panels even when it's not Valentine's Day.
Meant to be together?
Absolutely. SolarMax has a brand new offer as well. They have the new Tesla 420 panels and power walls for $79.96 per month and $0 down.
Call pound 250 from your cell phone, say that keyword SolarMax, pound 250, say SolarMax, or go to solarmaxtech.com.
Monthly payment available on approved credit. See SLB number 972048.
Hi, Sarah Andrews here for my friends at Cuddly. Each year, 6.5 million animals enter rescue centers looking for a second chance at life. The community on Cuddly helps these underdogs win. Cuddly champions animal rescues and makes it easy for you to donate essential items like food, toys, medication, and even surgery to the animal of your choice. Log on to Cuddly.com and learn how you can save a furry friend today.
I wouldn't call myself a know-it-all, but I would say that I call myself a nerd-it-all because I want to know everything that's out there. And so, unfortunately, if I know it, I think you need to know it. And so then you're my captive audience for an hour.
Wake Up Call, mornings at 5 on KFI.
John and Ken Show, John Cobelt and Ken Shampoo, KFI. AM640 live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
All right, luxury housing for the homeless. The big groundbreaking yesterday at Skid Row in downtown LA. We'll give you the rundown on the story, but from our perspective, it's damn expensive.
It's extremely expensive, and it's really this is a crime being committed here. This is an absolute crime because the company who is going to build the tower, the same company who helped get the proposition passed.
Oh, the taxes?
The taxes. What was that? The proposition HHH?
HHH, right. That's
All right.
the city one. That was property tax.
They did
the
a
county
lot.
one is sales tax.
They did a lot of work to get it passed, which means they probably donated a lot to the campaign.
So they knew they might get some construction money, right?
Exactly. So now they're siphoning off the tax fund that they helped create. And now they're making apartments that go for $600,000 to build. $600,000 per homeless person. But we'll get to all that coming up.
Yes. Well, it's time to torture a vegan.
Yeah, my favorite part of the show.
Kind of. There's a swanky restaurant in New York called 11 Madison Park. It's reopening out of the pandemic, and it's almost, not completely, but almost all vegan menus.
Oh, yeah.
The New York Times restaurant critic Pete Wells was not exactly taken by the dishes. He said some of them are a cross between kitchen chemicals and burning drugs.
Ew.
A beet dish. A beet
Oh, beets
dish.
are very good for you.
Not these beats.
Beets are god-awful. The purple
It's an
beets,
acquired taste.
the smell, he said it tasted like lemon pledge and smelled like a burning joint. Is how he described the beet.
I don't love beets, but I try to eat them. Sometimes.
He did say good things about tamburi. You ever had that?
No, what's
A
that?
seed dish.
A seed
Ooh,
dish.
sounds good.
A dish.
Bird eating birds.
A dish of
I love
seeds.
seeds.
Oh, that's hearty. That'll fill your
Sunflower
stomach.
seeds, pumpkin seeds.
Do you remember years ago David Letterman had a sketch with a way to get rid of a guest that stayed too long? Just fill the refrigerator with nothing but beef.
No,
And
that's great. Yeah, that'll drive him out. He said the bread was an unqualified success, but he said in some dishes, vegetables were forced to do so much work impersonating meat that you almost felt sorry for them.
See, that's funny. Is these vegan dishes, the way they're marketed and the products, they're always supposed to be something else. Oh, this tastes just like meat.
Well, I'm not that kind of vegan.
Why can't it taste? What's wrong with its natural taste?
Yeah, no, I
Why do
agree
you
with
have to
you.
doctor it up with chemicals to try to fool me into that it tastes like meat, and it doesn't taste like meat anyway?
Yeah.
Every fake meat dish I've ever bitten into, it tasted like fake meat.
Now, it's not completely vegan because they do allow milk and honey for your tea. If the honey bothers you, what, because it's taken from the bees?
I do have honey once in a while,
Oh.
but I try not to.
Well, the bees.
But now this development. There is a private dining room where rich guests can still get their beef. They just want you out of view of the main dining room.
Well, what's the point, though?
It's a swanky private dining room.
Because they want to make money.
I'm sure the vegan dishes are very expensive.
Not if they taste like lemon pledge.
Apparently he did this because he thought the planet is being decimated by the consumption of meat.
Stop it. The planet's being decimated. What a hysterical nitty. Planet's not being decimated. Good Lord.
The quote is, the way we have sourced our food, the way we're consuming our food, the way we eat meat, it's not sustainable, said Mr. Hum.
Yes, it is. You eat cows and you make new cows. They breed cows all the time. You can sustain the cow population forever. What is that?
Cow farts hit the
The cow
atmosphere.
farts. All right.
The Belgian.
Right. And in 100 years, it's going to be 1 degree warmer, right? Whoa.
I'm still waiting for the lab meat. No! This could be breakthrough. They're able to sort of grow meat in labs that supposedly taste incredibly the same.
Supposed to.
Well, it's sourced from actual, animal DNA. It's not made up.
Well, it's just I constantly hear about these breakthroughs, but they never seem to come around.
Sometimes they take many years.
And
lots of tests and
like all this fake vegan meat was supposed to be big breakthroughs, and it tastes like crap.
Some people like it.
So they like the taste of crap.
Have you guys seen the commercials? I saw one last night. It is hard to believe. A listener actually forwarded the ad, thought it was real. There's actually a commercial where it looks like, I don't know, an accident lawyer. But it's a guy who says, if you've been forced to be a vegan, call this number. There's a class action lawsuit. Have you heard about this?
I got an email, must have been from the same listener. Yeah.
Well, it's a joke because actually, when you call the number, you can order vegan meat products. You see, it's their marketing campaign. The listener was not really paying close attention because I stared at it and I played it back because I didn't. And the guy's very serious. It's like a big guy staring at the screen. If you've been forced to be a vegan, join our class action lawsuit. But it's just to sell their product.
Are there vegan concentration camps then?
It's a joke. It's kind of they're doing like a reverse way to come and get you to dial the number.
I think it's going to be reality one day. It's like the forced vaccination. You're going to be forced into a concentration camp.
Maybe if they decide that this is unsustainable to be eating meat.
Unsustainable. Why do these people always have weird, irritating phrases like unsustainable?
You can really, seriously, make some great vegan meals without doing fake meat. I don't eat any fake meat. I don't do any fake cheese, anything like that. And I enjoy my meals.
I see the stuff you eat.
Yeah.
It's just
you're brainwashed.
Delicious.
Oh, my God. Weeds. And
yeah. And avocados, delicious. Lentils, garbanzo beans. Oh.
There's no heft to any of that. No weight. It's not satisfying.
Oh, I feel quite full after I have avocado toast, let me tell you.
Ouch. Well, avocados have a lot of fat. That's
Good
fine.
fat, as we've discussed.
It is good fat.
But it's good fat.
It is.
It is. There are two. There's saturated, unsaturated fats. Yes, John.
Okay.
Educate yourself.
Please.
Do the research.
So why are people living so long and they're eating all the bad fat? How does that happen?
All right. Coming up next, we'll talk about this swanky new housing complex for the homeless in downtown LA.
John and Ted Show, Deborah Marquez News, KFI AM 640.
I don't know what you're thinking, and I kind of like that. Keeps it fun.
KFI.
KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
On hold, I'm Deborah Mark, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. The LA City Council has held off on a vote for a vaccine mandate.
The ordinance will be revisited next week. Council President Nuri Martinez says the mandate will save lives.
This is no longer negotiable. The stakes are way too high. And if you want to have fun, go to a bar, eat at a restaurant with your family. You're going to need proof of vaccination in order for you to do that.
Martinez says no one's forcing a person to get vaccinated, but she says she wants to make it inconvenient for people who intentionally refuse to get vaccinated. At City Hall in downtown LA, Steve Gregory, KFI News.
California Senator Dianne Feinstein has introduced a bill that would require a COVID-19 vaccine or a recent negative test for air travel in the U.S. The bill would also require the Secretary of Health and Human Services, the FAA, and the CDC to come up with COVID guidelines for domestic flights to prevent outbreaks. Feinstein says the bill would help avoid a surge of cases during the holidays. The number of homicide cases in LA County is up 50% from this time last year. Sheriff Villanueva says by the end of this month there will have been 200 cases. By September of last year, it was 133. The sheriff says the clearance rate for homicide cases this year is only 37%.
That clearance rate is kind of important because that is actually a measure of the ability of investigators to clear a case.
Villanueva's lack of funding is to blame for the low closure rates. A pair of gang members from South LA have pleaded guilty to federal charges for an armed robbery and shooting at a restaurant in Beverly Hills. Prosecutors say the men went to Beverly Hills in March looking for someone to rob and targeted a guy wearing a watch worth $500,000. The robbers had a gun and a woman was hurt when it went off during a struggle. A third guy pleaded guilty earlier this month. Orange County has agreed to pay almost $600,000 to the son of a former Real Housewives of OC cast member.
The federal lawsuit filed by Josh Waring alleges sheriff's deputies recorded attorney-client privileged calls, uncovering a major scandal involving illegally recorded jail calls. The lawsuit claims in retaliation, deputies allowed Waring to get attacked by other inmates. Waring pleaded guilty last year to a shooting in Costa Mesa to avoid more jail time, but a warrant has already been issued for Waring's arrest because the guy didn't show up to 2 drug cases he picked up after being released for the shooting. In Orange County, Corbin Carson, KFI News.
And 3 freeway projects have been approved to ease traffic congestion in South Orange County.
South County is unique in that we don't have the mobility patterns that we have in other parts of the county. We have one freeway, basically the I-405 that turns into the I-5, and that's pretty much it.
OC Supervisor Lisa Bartlett says the agreement approved yesterday includes a promise to protect open space in San Clemente from future freeways. The 3 projects include extending Los Patrones Parkway, widening Ortega Highway in San Juan Capistrano, and adding a carpool lane on the 5 from Avenida Pico to the San Diego County line. We have a crash on the 5 in Irvine.
Northbound at Jamboree, it crashed now with the fire department blocking the right lane. You're stop and go from the 133. And Costa Mesa, the 55 northbound at the 405. A crash is cleared to the shoulder. You're on the brakes here from Baker Street. KFI in the Sky, sponsored by injury attorney SuperwomanSuperLawyer.com. Let's go back to Long Beach now with Mike O'Brien.
Yes, no problems here, Dave. The 405 northbound approaching Studebaker, Palo Verde there. They're cleaning out of the carpool and the left lane. Now it has caught slowing. The normal stuff really out of Orange County, way with that. It's starting at about Harbor Boulevard. So avoid that if you can. It's also affecting the 22 westbound out of Garden Grove back to about 9. Now, it also looks like we got the problems still working on the drive into Norwalk on the 5, or 105, I should say. 105 eastbound, approaching the 605, still working that fatal investigation from the main lines. All 4 main lines are out. Only the carpool lane is available. It is a bumper-to-bumper crawl, essentially from the beginning of the freeway there, way back at LAX. Injured in an accident, visit SuperwomanSuperLawyer.com. Mike O'Brien, KFI in the Sky.
KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Dave Joseph.
We're going to see some 90s. We'll talk about that next.
She's one of the rising stars of the GOP.
Now everybody's talking about South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem as a contender in 2024.
They say she's tough, a Trump supporter, and unafraid to take on Washington and the big media.
Now you can meet her tonight on Newsmax TV.
Governor Noem talks with Newsmax's Rob Schmidt. and they have a special town hall from the Reagan Ranch.
Yeah, tune in tonight at 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. Pacific. Find out, 7 p.m. Pacific only. Find out why somebody want her to be president.
Watch Newsmax tonight. It's covering the big stories the other channels won't touch.
Newsmax is on all major cable systems. Just check your cable guide.
It's also free on streaming services for your smart TV like Roku. Say that? Roku. Amazon Fire and so many more.
You download the free Newsmax app on your smartphone and start watching.
Join the millions for whom Newsmax is their favorite website and #1 cable news channel.
Find out why 40 million Americans tune into Newsmax all the time.
San Manuel Casino is changing its name and changing the game. San Manuel Casino is now Yamaba Resort and Casino at San Manuel, with 2 new casino floors, now with over 6,500 slots, the most in the West. A new high limit room for 5 elevated gaming experiences, new luxury retail shops, restaurants and bars, and even more thrills to come. Experience a level of thrill that California has never seen before. San Manuel Casino is now Yamaba Resort and Casino at San Manuel. Details at yamaba.com. Must be 21. Please gamble responsibly.
The Delta variant is making COVID-19 spread faster and more easily. Variants can be more contagious, aggressive, and deadly. But we know vaccines work. Vaccinated Californians have greater protection against serious illness, hospitalization, and death. We can help stop the spread and end this pandemic. Get vaccinated and wear a mask when it can protect you and others. Find a vaccine near you at myturn.ca.gov. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
The KFI Financial Report brought to you by Bay Alarm. The Dow closed up 91, S&P 500 up 7, NASDAQ down 34, and the average price of a gallon of regular gas in California is $4.40.
With a range of commercial fire and security solutions, Bay Alarm can protect it all with just one call.
Southland weather from KFI. Sunny and warmer tomorrow. Low to mid-70s at the beaches. 80s for Metro LA and Inland OC. Mid-80s to mid-90s in the valleys. Upper 80s to low 90s in the IE. Right now it's 70 in Philly, 74 Costa Mesa, the same in North Hollywood, and 65 in Santa Monica. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Deborah Mark.
Here's how news bias works. So ABC News interviewed Obama, and the long version is online, and in that he says, we're a nation state. We have borders. The idea that we can just have open borders is something that, as a practical matter, is unsustainable.
There it is, unsustainable, your favorite word.
Guess what, though? That's the online long version of the interview. On all the ABC news shows, that quote is edited out.
Oh.
So if you watch it on TV, you never see him say open borders is unsustainable.
Didn't they do that with a Biden interview a few months ago? ABC News did the same thing. I forget what it was. They didn't leave it in.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, Biden, or what's left of him, and his staff constantly says, no, we don't have open borders. The border is closed. But Obama, no, we have open borders. It's unsustainable.
Yeah, well,
then
ABC
ABC
goes, classic on the other hand, guy.
And then ABC goes, no. We can't broadcast that. We can't broadcast Obama saying open borders is unsustainable. No, cover your ears.
That's right. So. The woke crowd that wants open borders, they also love Obama. That would be at odds.
Obama's like a right-wing kook now.
Yeah. Remember, he's the one that told them, I can't get the amnesty with them. I don't have the presidential power to grant amnesty. Right. So that's why he came up with DACA.
Right.
All right. Johnny Kent Show.
That's correct. KFI Am 640. Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
All right. Yesterday, they kicked off construction with a big groundbreaking in downtown Los Angeles. It's a 19-story homeless housing project. In fact, the headline in the Occidental Times calls it a first-class high-rise. This is what we're talking about. It's a homeless industrial complex. It's a 278-unit called the Weingart Tower. And then the math is what drives you crazy. It takes many paragraphs to find out that it's $160 million for the first phase, 228 studio units, and 47 one-bedroom units. All right. Now, I did the math on this. It's 275 units. $581,818 a unit.
there. Let's go 600,000. 600,000 a unit, and it's only going to house 275 homeless people.
So look at the rest. Look at the rest. Case management, medical and mental health treatment services, a client plan development, group meetings, a meals program. 3 units will be for managers.
Oh yeah,
That's where all the extra money's being spent. It's all the staffing they have to do there.
three managers.
So it isn't just about housing, it's everything.
3 managers for 275 people. That's going to work well. And listen to this. Well, this is disgusting. It's called the Weingart Tower.
Tower, right.
The Weingart Tower is run by a Weingart chief executive named Kevin Murray. And the
They have
Weingart...
something called the Weingart Foundation.
Right, and they are getting $32 million from Proposition